Hi, welcome to Kremés podcast.
Podcast yang paling receh and garing, but maybe informative too, depending on the day.
You can tune into our episodes on Instagram, YouTube, SoundCloud, and Facebook. I'm T.
And I'm A.
Semoga podcast ini bisa nemenin lo.
And hope you enjoy the episode.
Hello guys, welcome back. My name is T. Lovely to have you listening in. So basically we talk about a lot of stuff in this podcast that relates or even triggers personal memories and experiences. So it's no doubt that there will be various DNMs or deep and meaningfuls along the way. So I guess in order to filter out the more sensitive stuff from our more general content, we decided to launch a sub-channel called CURHAT, which essentially is short for curahan hati or confessions, or essentially pouring your heart out in English. So CURHAT episodes contain more of our confessional and personal conversations. We hope these talks will strike a chord with you guys, but we understand it may be triggering for some, so this is just a disclaimer.
Yeah, so we wanna make this podcast to be a safe space. And di segmen ini kita bakal curhat apa yang benar-benar terjadi dalam hidup kita. And really just be open about an event or an opinion that has happened. And this is truly our experience, straight away from our experience. Just to show, sometimes hidup itu nggak all sunshine and rainbows. Tapi ada juga pasti kejadian yang pahit, atau something that is not really nice. Tapi kita bisa belajar from it, and grow from it, and be better person from it.
Benar. Okay, so I guess to kick off the first Curhat episode, and the reason why I thought we should have a Curhat episode from the first place is, I've been thinking, right, continuing from our first episode on jokes, conversations and stuff, like, gue penasaran nih, kan tentang cerita orang Indo yang baru pindah ke negara lain, especially Western country, yang, you know, negara yang beda banget kulturnya, kebiasaannya, dan lain-lain gitu. Like you mentioned kan in our main episode about mean jokes. And I don't mean to start on a not so nice note, but it reminded me of the time when I was, you know, just coming into Australia. I came to I started at primary school. And I guess, like, you know, lunch and recess time, easiest thing. I was the Asian kid that got made fun of for her school lunches. You mentioned mean jokes. Now, yeah. I don't mean to dampen the mood. I don't mean to kind of like end on a bad note, but yeah, you kind of triggered a memory here for me, because it also kind of in a way is a joke.
Yeah.
When I first moved to Australia, I must say I was one of those kids where I was made fun of, like, my food, like the food that I brought to school during, like, you know, recess and lunch. It was definitely a topic of conversation. Yeah. For most people, they were just kind of like curious about it, because everyone had their typical sandwiches. They had like their shapes. They had, like, you know, like a chocolate milk or like an orange C, if anyone remembers what orange C is.
That up and go.
Yeah, exactly. Mum got me like a whole, like, what, you know, like a whole, like literally, like, you know, aneka lauk dan nasi. Mungkin ada tempe. Like, I had tempe before tempe was a trending food now. Like, tempe is a legit superfood now, but, like, you know,
yes,
move back to like early 2000s, no one, like, you know, knew what that was. And then sometimes I would also, like, mum would also make sayur asam, and then obviously, you know, in its namesake, like, sayur asam literally translates to, like, what, sour vegetables. It does give off a smell as well, and, like, look, it doesn't look like the most appetizing dish. So, like, I specifically remember one time, like, nyokap gue bikin bekal cuman kayak nasi sama sayur asam, and then, like, people was like, what the heck is that? You know, like kids being kids. I totally got it. But, like, you know, at the time, I was definitely offended, because they were like, oh, what's that? And then I'd just be like, oh, it's sayur asam. And then, like, oh, what does that mean? Oh, it's sour vegetables. And then, like, obviously, it's like, it's the butt of the joke. Like, it's just a, you know, inspiration. It's the spark to, like, a whole heap of snowballs of jokes.
Oh, no.
Where I was essentially made fun of because of the food that I brought, right? So I was definitely that typical kid that was made fun of for being, you know, the bringer of interesting food. And, like, you know, the other day I was scrolling through social media, and there was, like, a post based on, like, if you've watched Fresh Off the Boat, the comedy show, there was an episode where the kid was made fun of because he brought like essentially Asian food to a westernized school. But there was kind of like a Twitter post based on that saying like, just remember, behind every Asian kid who got made fun of for the food that they brought is a mother who is who is saddened by the fact that her child got made fun of because of the food she made for her child. Which is, I was like, a big oof. And I literally read that post during Mother's Day, which was literally the past weekend. Looking back now, we're now blessed to be kind of like in a generation where everyone's definitely a lot more accepting. Not everyone, I must say, that's a harsh reality, but a lot more people are more accepting, and a lot more people are more open-minded, and willing to embrace and celebrate other cultures. But I must say, like, back then, you know, because I was also young, you know, I was very fragile. What a lot of people would joke about, I didn't get and I didn't like. So I guess in a way, maybe that's why there was like a part of me that was like, oh, I will never get Australian humour because Australian humour is not part of my true identity. Here I am, the kid with the weird buckle and the nasi and the tempeh and the sayur asam, and I can never relate with their fairy bread, with their, you know, with their juice boxes, with their shapes. So I think there was definitely a part of me that was like, oh, you know, these jokes, you know, they're so weird. I can't relate to it. And there was definitely a void in my growth because of it. I don't really remember how I overcame it. I guess I did now because obviously, you know, like I'm a lot better now, but I think it's also because of the sign of the times, the change in environment, the change in mood, the change in acceptance. It definitely helped. But I guess that's kind of like a little bit of a little DNM moment that I wanted to share, because what you mentioned as well, it's like, you know, jokes, you know, the jokes are meant to be good, clean fun, right? But I guess many times a joke can also be interpreted negatively, and it could offend people, right? And I think especially for us in the context of, you know, subcultures and third cultures and cross cultures, it definitely strikes a chord. So I guess that's my 2 cents. And I, like, did you experience anything similar? I don't know. Sorry, it got real deep real quick, but
no, that's all good. I'm really sorry that you have to deal with that, to be honest, because I have a completely different experience. It's a bit funny in a sense, because it's sad knowing that those things actually happen in your friend's life, I guess, because you see this on TV, like Fresh Off the Boat and stuff like that, right? Tapi waktu gue bawa bekal tuh, kan gue bawa nasi goreng gitu tuh, kayak mereka justru pengen coba gitu. Like I literally have to put 1 spoon on the cover, karena gue dibilang sama mami gue nggak boleh share spoon sama orang lain. Jadi gue taruh 1 spoon nasi goreng di atas covernya, terus mereka coba kayak masukin aja ke mulutnya gitu. Tapi emang ada juga beberapa yang beberapa makanan yang mereka juga kayak, hah, apaan sih man gitu loh. I almost karena gue tuh nggak tahu yang lebih baik ya, I almost gonna bring durian to school. I'm glad that I didn't, but I almost gonna bring durian to school because they haven't tried it. I was like, gila, lu belum nyoba durian tuh enak banget, gue mau bawa ke sekolah gitu. Untungnya nggak jadi. Tapi I guess mami gue tuh literally sampai, kan kita punya termos gitu kan, yang tiger termos gitu tuh, dalam tuh bisa ada sop buntut, sayur asam belum pernah sih, tapi sop buntut, soto, itu tuh pasti bisa gitu. Tau gak, mami gue bisa nanti dibawain aja gitu. Bawanya tuh apa, bakmoy, soto Bandung, hal-hal kayak gitu. Jadi dari gue sendiri, mungkin karena gue emang suka food kali ya, gue emang suka makanan banget, jadi gue kayak, this is a happy thing, like I'm literally eating sop buntut di sekolah, lagi recess, lagi lunch, gue makan sop buntut gitu. Dan tapi maybe not gonna lie, like there are times where I just wanna eat a sandwich, I just wanna eat a salad from kantin gitu. Karena kayak kalau gue bawa bekal terus sih, gue kan juga pengen beli dong di cafe, gue kan juga pengen beli makanan sini gitu. We get the hot wedges with gravy, you know, like back then the sausage rolls, the pie, like the ham and cheese pie, shepherd's pie. Oh my god, shepherd's pie was so good. Or like just even getting the slushy kayak gitu kan. Tapi kan zaman dulu ya mami gue tuh kayak, gila, masa kamu mau beli slushy tuh 20.000, tau gak man? 20.000, and ini bear in mind, ini tuh 2000 berapa ya, 2010. Jadi 20.000 buat satu gelas slushy, it's so expensive buat my mom gitu kan. Kayak, kamu makan toasty mau 50.000, makanya bikin aja di rumah. 50.000 tuh udah bisa bikin kamu sop buntut gitu kan. Kayak their vision is more like that gitu. Jadi kayak dari sisi gue sih, gue nggak pernah dapet, untungnya gratefully gue nggak dapet kayak that treatment, right? Tapi I guess also because of that, I think it also shows my sisters yang younger, yang lebih muda daripada gue, that it's okay to bring those food to school. Karena kayak ceceman juga Aid juga bawa kan gitu. Jadi kayak it's okay gitu for them to bring it, and sekarang mereka malah embrace it gitu. Cuman karena keluarga gue emang suka makan banget, we will finish it before like I think everyone can say anything bad about it. Kayak kita udah makan dulu. Like literally I come home to my sister saying that like, oh tadi aku makan nuggetnya si A loh, aku tadi makan sausage roll si B loh, karena mereka gak habis. Aku udah makan lunch aku udah habis, sop buntut aku udah habis. Jadi kayak because of that, I think that's just like make it more like easier for them to be okay with it. Tapi juga at the same time, I actually feel so luxurious karena kan gue pasti ada nasi, terus ada sup, ada lauk, kayak gila gue makan 3 meal dalam waktu lunchtime doang gitu. But yeah, I remember, I do feel so sorry though. I feel bad that you feel that, like you have to go through that. That's just no,
that's so good. Look, everyone has shared experiences. Everyone has different and shared experiences, I should say. And I think it's good that we discuss both sides. I think in my part, you know, it's there's so many different variables, right? Yeah. Like it's a different scenario, different school, different sets of people and friends, and also different sets of food. So clearly, you know, like love me some sayur asam, but like I should have probably brought the nasi goreng or the mie goreng or you know, some other more enticing stuff, because I think back then a lot of people assimilate Indonesia to like Bali, bintang singlets, bintang beer, and nasi goreng. So I guess it kind of opened up their minds a little bit.
True. Sampai sekarang masih ada yang nggak tahu Bali juga dari Indo nggak sih?
Yeah, Bali is a country? Wow.
Yeah, I know, right? Tapi juga kayaknya it's also important, right?
Yes.
That you were here primary school, benar gak?
Yeah,
Jadi
benar.
tahun 2000-an kan. Tapi gue kan pindah 2010. So like maybe they are more advanced by then. Kayak mereka udah lebih open, udah lebih sering ke Bali, udah lebih tahu makanan-makanan oxtail soup gitu kan. Kayak sop buntut jadi keren, oxtail soup gitu kan. Jadi mungkin that's might be why as well. Like they're more open to it.
Tapi sumpah sih kayak untung kayak, you know, like I'm very grateful that I experienced that, because I think, you know, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, right? Like, and I think because that's I overcame that, I learned to be a lot more strong within my own self, emotionally, and a lot more resilient. And it's great that, you know, my younger sisters, because I also have younger sisters, can like kind of grow up to, you know, I think they had it better. Because obviously they kind of came in around about closer to your time. Or like, you know, so they kind of, they had it easier because there were some, you know, people who had to experience the more harsher side. Then again, you know, like I'm sure there's people out there before me, or with me, who faced a lot more harsher treatment, right? So I'm not here to complain, because I know that there's people out there who are facing a lot more things tougher. Okay, well, this has been great, actually. I appreciate that this may be an uncomfortable situation and an uncomfortable topic to talk about. I mean, it was definitely for me, but look, like, I think it's important to be vulnerable. I think that's the one thing that I've learned, especially in this current time, during self-isolation. It's a very uncertain and a very strange time, but I think it's really important that we acknowledge that sometimes we are down in the dumps, and we need to kind of open up and be vulnerable and explore those feelings. I think for me, it's definitely been a journey for me to, you know, explore within myself, reflect upon my insecurities, my happy moments and not so happy moments, but also open up to trusted listeners and trusted friends. So I would say, it's been really great actually even just sharing it with you, because when you mentioned jokes in a more kind of like, not so nice connotation, that somewhat sort of reminded me of this memory. But I think it's also a reminder, like, I don't know, there's like just something in me that was like, oh, you know what, this is the time that I need to share it with someone besides my parents, because I've never actually discussed it openly until now. And honestly, it feels like a whole weight has been lifted off my shoulders. So I think it is very important to be vulnerable, because we need to overcome that and we need to face that stage first before we can go into acceptance, or before we can go into recovery, or before we can go into, positivity. There's always going to be light on the other side of the tunnel, in my opinion. But I understand everyone's experience is different. Some may have it better or worse. And I think today's conversation, having, ngobrol sisi gua dan ngobrol sisi lo about literally topik yang sama, it's interesting to see how, experience gua mungkin nggak sepositif lo punya gitu. But I think that's great. I think it's great that we acknowledge that there's definitely two sides to every story. And I'm glad that we can use this platform to share some stories.
Yeah. First of all, I do want to say like huge respect for you, T, for sharing that, especially in a public platform like this podcast. Dan to be honest, that's what I like about our friendship. Itu yang gue suka dari pertemanan kita gitu. Kita bisa vulnerable, we can be ourselves, then we can even tell stories and know that we're not gonna be judged, and there's not gonna be anything different. Even unfortunately in this case, you experience something bad and mine was a better version, quotation mark. Tapi ada juga beberapa banyak kali dimana gue yang cerita hal yang sedih tentang diri gue, dan mungkin kita bakal share in the future, but you still accept me and you still advise me in an amazing way gitu. Dan I think that's what I really like, and I really want this podcast to be, karena I personally don't like orang kalau ngomong katanya. Jadi kayak sebelum kita pindah, keluarga gue juga sering denger gitu, kayak oh katanya orang Australia gini ya, katanya orang bule gini ya. Tapi juga at the same time waktu kita di sini, kita juga ngedenger kayak oh katanya orang Asia gini ya, orang Indonya kayak gini ya. I really hate that stereotype gitu, karena itu tuh bikin sesuatu yang persepsinya jadi beda gitu. Kita udah punya persepsi tersendiri atau gimana orang bakal react, atau gimana orang bersosialisasi segala macam gitu. Padahal it might not be true. And I think it's really good that we have this both experience that are completely different as well. It kind of shows gitu kayak oh okay, maybe it's true that not everyone is like that, but also we do acknowledge that some people do have it that way. Some people do experience the racism, or experience the mean jokes, or experience the bad side of things gitu. Dan kita respect both sides of the story gitu. And I really love that we were able to share that and even have this podcast yang semoga teman-teman yang dengar juga bisa lebih terbuka, lebih open minded, dan gak langsung ngejudge gimana orang Western act, but also maybe our friends in Australia bisa also be open minded and see that oh, not every Asian is like that kind of situation, that we are all basically just the same, like we're all have kind of, I don't know, we're all human and we think differently, and sometimes it's objective, it's not really subjective. Like what my favorite food shouldn't determine how people treat us, right? But yeah, again, I just want to say thank you for sharing. That's just it. I'm still surprised, and I'm still kind of, I don't know how I feel, because I know you for a while now, for a couple of years, and we still figuring out stories from each other's past, and we're still figuring out it, like experiences that we never heard from each other. So yeah, thank you.
No, all good. I think for me, this podcast has been an interesting journey to explore, our friendship, to deepen our friendship, but also it's a way for me to explore myself and start loving myself a lot more by, how that cheesy, super, super, Jayus comment of if you love someone, let them go or something. I think it also reflects on self-love. If I love myself truly, I need to learn to let go of some insecurities, of some burdens, but let go to a trusted listener. Again, like I said, right? So you need to be able to, obviously trust the person that you're going to confide in. And for me, that's you. But I think also the reason why I'm sort of sharing this on this podcast is I think it's because it is, I don't know. For me, I feel it's a totally big deal. But at the same time, I feel that it's also a big deal to a lot of other people out there. There's so many, young people or people our age that have moved to a westernized community from an Asian community who have experienced being picked on because of the food that they brought to school, or, because they, faced racial discrimination, just even going to the grocery store. And honestly, that can be a topic for another curhat, discussion. But I think that's essentially why we created curhat. And honestly, guys, kayak, sumpah, gue beneran ingin dengerin cerita kalian semua. If you guys have anecdotes to share, if you guys are willing to open up about, your experiences, your highs and lows, we would love to hear from you guys. We're pretty much on all the socials, Instagram, Facebook, SoundCloud, YouTube, but you're more than welcome to reach out to us on any platform. We'd love to hear from you. We'd love to hear your stories, and who knows, future episodes, future curhat episodes, we will, discuss that together, because I feel that there is a shared community, and I'm sure that we have faced, the same struggles and the same wins and losses as well. So thanks, guys, for listening to the very first curhat. Stay tuned for the next one. Sampai ketemu lagi di curhatan yang selanjut. Dah.
Bye. Thank you for listening.
Jangan lupa like, comment, and subscribe, and share it with your friends.
I'd love to hear from you. Please reach out with your comments, stories, and even questions on what we should talk about. See you in the next episode.
Bye. Dah.